In this concept, we're going to talk about changing an improper fraction to a mixed number. And the purpose of this is essentially to simplify the improper fraction. Okay, and this is one of the techniques of simplifying it, namely converting it to a mixed number. So here we have an example to convert 11/5 to a mixed number. So the technique that I want to introduce here is essentially the same as doing long division. Now you may have forgotten how to do long division, but well, now you need to remember how it's done. So you take the numerator, right, and you put it inside the division, and then you take the denominator, right, which is 5, and then you divide by the 5, right? So when you start to carry it out, so 11 divided by 5, what is the, how many times does 5 go into 11 without a remainder? So how many whole 5s are contained in 11? And the answer is there's 2 of them, right? So 5 times 2, there's 10, right? But then there's still a remainder from 11, so the remainder is 1. So the way you would write this out is you would write the whole number result, right, which is the quotient, which is 2, right, which is here. So your mixed number becomes 2, and then there's going to be some fraction, right? In that fraction, you put the remainder, right, which is 1, right? And then divided by the original denominator of the original improper fraction up here. So it was 11/5, remember. So the original denominator was 5. So my end result is 2 and 1/5, right? So I've converted 11/5 to 2 and 1/5. Okay? And this is just a quick review of what we just did, right? So remember, you divide the numerator by the denominator to get the closest result without the remainder, right, which is 2 in this case, to get the quotient without the remainder, I mean, and then you find the remainder, which in this case is 1, and then you write the mixed number in the format that I just showed, right? So the whole number first, and then a fraction containing the remainder, and then the original denominator of the initial improper fraction. So again, the result is 2 and 1/5 in this case. And now we have some exercises to solidify this point. Please pause the video, work on these, and come back for the solutions. Okay, so converting the following fractions to mixed numbers, we start with 24/5, and what we want to do again is do the same thing that we did, right? So long division, 24, and then divided by 5, right? So how many whole 5s are contained in 24? So, and the answer is there's 4 of them, right? So because 5 times 4 is 20, right? Well, why couldn't it be 5? 5 times 5 is 25. So, but we have 24. So this, the 5 is not relevant in this case as a quotient. Our quotient is 4. Then you multiply the quotient times the denominator, right? And that gives you 20. And here you're essentially determining the remainder. So 24 minus 20 is 4. So then my 24/5 becomes 4, right? Again, back here, you write the whole number, and then a fraction containing the remainder, which is also 4, and then divided by the denominator, which is 5. Okay? 4/3. And let me just take this out here a little bit so I have more space. So again, long division. Set it up as a long division, right? 4 divided by 3. how many whole 3's are contained in 4? And the answer, there's 1 whole 3 in 4. And then take that multiplied by the denominator, right, to get, I'm sorry, let's move this, to get 3, and then subtract the 3 from 4 to get the remainder. So the remainder is 1, the whole number is 1, and the denominator is 3. So my answer becomes 1 and 1 over 3. Okay? So realize that you don't really have to go through the trouble of setting it up as a long division. You know, again, once you've practiced enough, you should essentially be able to do it in your head, right? So basically ask yourself this question: how many whole of this denominator, how many whole times does this denominator go into the numerator? So in this case, how many whole 25s are in 52? And the answer is there's 2 of them, right? So that becomes your whole number, right? And then, well, but 2 times 25 is 50, right? But I need to go to 52 now. So what is the remainder? The remainder is 2, right? This was a mistake, sorry. So the remainder is 2, so you write it up here, divided by the original denominator, which is 25. See, I just did it in like 5 seconds. So the long division is just a way to help you, do it in a structured manner. But again, once you've gotten enough practice, you should be able to just do it, in your head, like I just showed you. 32 over 10. So again, ask yourself this question: how many times does 10 go into 32 in whole terms? Okay, so how many whole 10s are contained in 32? And the answer is there's 3 of them. There's 3 10s in 32, right? Giving 30. But 30 from 32 is 2 away, right? So the remainder is 2. So you write the remainder on top of the fraction, and then the denominator is the same denominator here in the mixed number. Okay? How many whole 32s are contained in 75? Well, these numbers are a little bigger, so you may want to do some, multiplication, right? So 32, we know 32 times 1 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64, right? 32 times 3 is 96. So it's not 3, right? The whole number will not be 3. So there aren't 3 full 32s in 75, right? The closest number is 2. There are 2 full 32s in 75. But then what does that give us? So 32 times 2 is 64 now, but we need to go to 75. So what is the remainder from 64 to get to 75? Well, the remainder is 11. So you write it out here, and then divided by the original denominator, which was 32. All right, and this is it for this concept. See you in the next video.